Man, I had people that I thought was my brother. Oh, your career is over. UFC is done with you. Yada yada yada. Coming at me reckless, man. I mean, absolutely reckless.
Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
Tresean, let's jump right into it, man. Last July, you had a huge fight with Bo Nickal on a pay-per-view. It said that you tore your wrist ligament. What exactly happened, man? Take us through all of that.
I pretty much tore the most major ligament in my wrist. It's called I think it's called a scaphoid. Um, and the whole camp was a struggle. And I mean, my coach told me like months before that he doesn't think I'm healthy enough to fight. But since it was such a huge opportunity, it's like I ignored that and I try to go on through it. I mean, the whole camp, it hurt to block punches. It hurt to base on my hand. It hurt to do simple things like hitting body shields, hitting mitts. Um, and man, I think I made it the right decision. I backed out, and I had a lot of people change on me that I thought were my family. So I realized that I backed out for a reason, um, and everybody's timing is different. I hate I waited to do it the week of the fight, but what made me really do it that Saturday to make that decision, I was hit and miss, and like I had to stop in the middle of my mid session because I really it really hurt when I try to sit down on a hook because I'm like in this fight I got to sit down on my punches. So I tried to sit down on it, and once I sat down on my punch, I realized, man, like this is stupid. I'm going into the biggest fight of my whole career with an injury that's prolonging me this much. If I was to go in there and have a lackluster performance, nobody's gonna give Tresean Gore the benefit of the doubt. Nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, he was injured," yada yada yada. Nobody would have gave a shit. They would have simply said, "Oh, Gore's making excuses, right?" So instead of doing what everybody else wanted me to do, I did what I felt like I needed to do for my career. You know what I mean? Bo is a good fighter. He has good rest and all these accolades and stuff, and I respect him for that. But don't get it twisted. If I was healthy, I would have jumped in there in a heartbeat, and he wouldn't have done me like the guy he fought. That they brought from the regional scene that was 6-0. You know, but I'm back now. I'm back. After 4 stem cell shots in it, I avoided the surgery because surgery would have me sit. This is how severe the injury is. You get surgery on a scaphoid ligament, you're out for 8 to 12 months.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's a very severe, very serious injury. My doctor told me when he saw my tear in it, he told me he would rather me have a torn ACL than to be dealing with a scaphoid ligament because it's just a very delicate ligament that pretty much connects everything in your hand. So yeah, that's that, man.
Damn, man, that's a lot, man. That's heavy. And you also mentioned earlier that because you did pull out of the fight, you had people around you show their true colors, and maybe that was the biggest benefit for you is finding out who's behind you, who's not, right?
Man, I had people that I thought was my brother. Oh, your career is over. UFC is done with you. Yada yada yada. Coming at me reckless, man. I mean,
Wow.
absolutely reckless. And it's like, bro, you're supposed to care about me outside of the UFC. If I retired today, you're supposed to love me and care for my well being. And that's not the case with a lot of people. And I figured that out. Now, if I would have jumped in there, I would have had a bunch of people on my side that I thought was Team Trey. When really they were Team UFC Trey. You know, and that's that, man. Um, it's been a struggle coming back. It's been hard. But I'm here. I'm here now. I'm working. I'm putting in that work, the sacrifice, and the discipline that I need to become the greatest one day.
And you mentioned the stem cell shots that you've taken for recovery. What were you doing during recovery? Were you training other parts, or were you just like, okay, I need to just chill out and recover from this?
Actually, I had to stop training because
Okay.
while I was healing up from my wrist surgery, my knee was full of fluid. I mean, I've had 3 surgeries on one of my knees. I'm not gonna name which one, but I've had 3 surgeries on one, and I actually had to get like 2 stem cell shots in my knee. Um, so it's like my knee was messed up and my wrist. So I got upper body problems and lower body problems. So I took some time to just enjoy my family and just fish and stuff, and
Mhm.
you know, and I enjoyed my time out, but the whole time I was out, I was depressed. Um, I felt like this isn't my destiny to just be around here just fishing and stuff. Like I've always felt the desire to be great one day, and to be an inspiration like Kobe was to me, like Sugar Ray Robinson was to me, and that's my goal. And I know I have a ways to go. I still gotta like injuries popping up out of the blue. Um, but I realized this is just a part of the sport, and I still have to let my greatness shine through it.
Cody Brundage, he's gonna fight Bo Nickal now at UFC 300. What do you think of that fight?
I'm happy for the guy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hate on him, man, but I'm gonna get that back in blood. You know what I mean? And I'm a Christian too. And, I'm supposed to say vengeance is the Lord's, and it is. But I wish him all the best, man. I hope he goes out there and displays his talent and doesn't go out there and just fail and just give up. You know what I mean? I've seen him give up, but I wish that guy all the best. I know he has a family, kids and stuff, and it would be nice to see him rise to the occasion, beat this guy, me and him get a rematch if he does win. If he doesn't win, I would like Bo or Roman Kopelev after my next fight. Um, but first, first things first, I can't look past AJ. He's a competitor. He's a good competitor, and I know he's bringing it too to try to knock my head off or to try to take me down or to just try to beat me. Period. So I can't look past him. I have to focus on him. I used to when I got to the Ultimate Fighter, I was saying I was gonna be a 2 division champion in a year, and people judged me. They laughed at me after I lost. But what they don't realize is I've been believing that since I was a child, and I just realized that it takes more than what I was doing to get to the goals that I set in my mind. And now I'm disciplined. I'm at a better, more disciplined camp right now in MMA LAB with some of the best in the world. Jared Cannonier, he always teaches me, shows me a lot. Benson Henderson, Coach John Crouch, Coach Randy Stinky, uh, you know, Joe Riggs is coaching there, Rob Emerson coaching. I got a bunch of coaches surrounding me, I'm not used to, but I feel a lot more organized for this camp, and I definitely have been disciplined. No weed, no bad foods. I've just been trying to focus and really just put God first in my life, man. Cause
Try.
Over MMA, like I want to go to heaven. And if I was to die today, I want to hear "Well done, my faithful servant." So I've been trying to my best to be the best version of myself every day.
Yeah, man. And you mentioned MMA Live. We'll talk about that a little bit more. AJ Dobson, it's a good matchup. His fighting style. How do you feel like the matchup is working out for you?
I feel like the UFC saw 2 strong, athletic black guys. You know, that came short in the past, and they want to see who stands out. It's all about business for the UFC, and that's why they matched this up. Me and AJ was matched up in the past, but him and his team declined the first matchup last year or the year before last. They declined to fight me, which I'm not the type to be like, oh, he was scared or nothing. I don't know what they had going on, but they denied the fight with me, and also Roman Kopelev denied the fight with me.
Really?
Um,
Wow.
yes, I was offered to their team. They said no. You never know what these guys have going on, though. They could have had injuries. They could have been chilling at home with their family, out of shape. I'm not gonna sit here and call them a pussy for not fighting me. They just probably had things going on. You know what I mean? That's just that. You know. But I know I'm also a dangerous competitor as well. They know they can't jump in there not ready with me. I'm a really good grappler, and I got knockout power and stand up skills. So you have to prepare for the best of both worlds with me.
And MMA Lab, man. What's the story behind you joining that team? Because that's kind of a surprise to a lot of people, man, when they saw those pictures come out. They're like, Tresean's with MMA Lab?
I'm not I still live in Georgia. So
Okay.
primarily my main gym kinda is still American Top Team Lima. But being honest, Diego and Douglas, Diego's transitioning from being a fighter to a coach. So I'm having to like, bear with him as he becomes a coach. You know, like the gym I'm at now, they study film, which I have never done in any fight besides the Ultimate Fighter fights. Um, there's a lot more organized on shutting down your opponent's weapons, and and man, it's some hard work. You know, I sparred 30 rounds yesterday.
Damn.
Yeah, and that's on the Bible. You know, I'm working very hard because I want to go in there and put on one of my best performances to date. And I wasn't the only one in there sparring. Coach John Crouch, he's the type of coach. He'll turn the clock off and he just lets you go. Like, and even though like, well, as I was sparring, I was taking no breaks. But I was sitting there wondering, damn, like this is a long sparring session. Like I'm sitting here watching guys sit on the wall and take breaks, but I want to be the best one day. So I was following Benson Henderson's lead. He kept telling people, "Get off the wall, stop taking breaks, let's go, let's work." And he didn't have to tell me that because I kept working. I'm trying to follow his lead, you know. So I stayed on the match working, and I believe my work is gonna pay off.
And you talked about the diet changes in that, and then like cutting off certain habits that you have. Do you feel that in this camp, like because of those changes, you feel like you can go 30 rounds now? I mean, you're not getting as tired as much as you did before.
Hearing you even say 30 rounds is insane.
Yeah.
That's how they work here at MMA Lab. This is a legitimate. Like, why do you think Jarrett just broke the middleweight record for throwing so many strikes? Why? These boys work every day, 6 days a week, twice a day. I'm grinding. But what was your question, man? I'm sorry. That 30 rounds. That shit. Like I'm working, man. I'm working.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta
Well,
say.
I was saying, like, you mentioned the changes in your diet, because I know that it has a huge effect on fighters during camp, and also, cutting off like weed and stuff. Do you feel the difference when you're
Yes,
training
yeah.
now?
I feel the difference. And you know, like I smoked weed all through the Cody Brundage camp. all the way into the Monday I had to leave to go to Vegas. I mean, and you know when you come off weed, you you have to go through like people think, oh, it's just weed, but when you smoke heavily like I was every day, every day, um when I stopped smoking, I didn't have an appetite, so I didn't eat that Monday, I didn't eat that Tuesday, um and I didn't eat Wednesday. um and Wednesday I lost 9 pounds. Thursday I lost 8 pounds. Friday morning I lost 4 pounds. So that whole week was spent cutting weight, losing weight, trying to make weight. It wasn't, and that was part of me smoking. Because when you smoke, you get the munchies. You eat too much, and I was undisciplined in that damn camp, and he knocked my ass out. I thought I was the shit. You know, I thought God would never allow me to get hurt like that, but it happened, and it was a reality check, and it made me realize I have to be disciplined, and I have to be. That's why I jumped in 3 months later against his training partner, because I had to get it back in some way, and I did. I got it back, but I'm not satisfied. I feel like every guy that fights Mr. Vicious needs to feel who I am.
Mr. Vicious. What would be the satisfying outcome against AJ Dobson? What would you be satisfied with?
A win. You know, of course, I'm the guy that always go for the stoppage. That's just how I fight. They know that. The whole world knows it. Even with Brundage, I was beating him. I mean, his leg was done. If I would have shot a takedown or something on him, I would have won. Brian Battle, you seen me go and I was hunting him down the whole fight, but I wasn't throwing any volume. Um, not now. Now I'm just looking for a win, man. You know, and I know he's looking for a win too. I mean, I'm sure he would like to knock me out, try to get a bonus, or he would like us to go in there and slug it out and get a bonus. But me personally, man, I'm just going for a win, and I'm definitely not gonna hold my firepower back. I'm definitely going for the finish. That's just how I fight. I don't know any other way to fight, but to try to stop people.
Control chaos, basically.
I guess, man, you could call it that.
Yeah.
I'm a finisher. That's why my coach from South Carolina named me Mr. Vicious. I'm a finisher. I'm a vicious grappler, and I'm a vicious striker. When I land my stuff, like it's really devastating, and I plan on being devastating. And that's just it.
All right.
He plans on doing the same. He's a good fighter. I respect him. I respect everything about the guy. He signed the paperwork, but I'm about to throw these things, man. So let's go.
There you go. February 17th, UFC 298, Anaheim. Man, Mr. Vicious is back. Can't wait for this fight, man. Appreciate you so much. All the best in the fight.
Man, I appreciate you too. Thank you for having me. God bless you and your family. And I wish you all the best with your platform. It's been very respectful, uh, confident talking to you. And I'm not going to talk no trash this time, man, because I realize anything can happen in this sport. Um, but one day, there's nobody that's probably going to get 500 to 1,000, 2,000 views on your page. One day, I'm going to be somebody, man. And I'm going to be one of the greatest middleweights ever. This is all I have, man. This is all I have. I don't have an education. This is it. This is it. I don't have a plan B. This is it. So I'm going in there. I'm putting my life on the line, and so is AJ. And may the best man win.